Jay Prakash Singh. Today we are going to continue our discussion of the Anunnaki. According to the ancient Sumerian texts, the Sumerian god Anu, the supreme god of the sky, the currently ruling official head of the Sumerian family tree, had two sons. They were Enki, or as known as Ea, lord of the earth and waters, whose mother was Antu, and Enlil, or as known as El, lord of the air and lord of the command, whose mother was Ki. These are two half-brothers, and they did not get along. It was the fact that Enki had been the first of the Anunnaki to make a trip to Earth to begin a mining operation for gold. When this effort did not apparently produce gold in sufficient quantities, Enlil was brought in, given command, and armed with a new plan. The revised program was to mine gold from deep mines in the earth. According to Sumerian texts, during a visit by their father, Anu, the Anunnaki made a decision, and this is what sounds like from the ancient Sumerian texts. The gods had clasped their hands together, had cast lots and had divided. Anu then went up to heaven. To Enlil the earth was made subject. The seas enclosed as with a loop they had given to Enki, the prince of earth. Sounds fair. However, it says somewhere else in the text. Enki was not happy about his brother's promotion, because although Enlil was the elder of the two, his mother, whose name was Ki, was Anu's junior sister, whereas Enki's mother, whose name was Antu, was the senior sister. True kingship claimed Enki through the mother's lineage. Enki maintained that he was the firstborn of the royal succession. It says, "I am the great brother of the gods. I am he who has been born as the first son of the divine Anu." According to a British author, Lawrence Gardner, here was a deity, Enlil, who spared no mercy for those who did not comply with his dictatorial authority. From a biblical perspective, Abraham had experienced the vengeful Enlil firsthand, and he was not about to take any chances with his own survival. He was even prepared to sacrifice the life of his young son Isaac to appease God. Genesis chapter 22, verse 9. The Oriental scholar Henry Frankfurt summarized the situation by making the point that those who served Jehovah must forego the richness, the fulfillment, and the consolation of life, which moves in tune with the great rhythms of the earth and sky. An author, William Bramley, has noted that we therefore find Enki, or Ea, was responsible to teach early man, Adamu, the way to spiritual freedom. This suggests that Enki intended his creation, Homo sapiens, to be suited for earth labor, but at some point he changed his mind about using spiritual enslavement as a means. From a biblical perspective, it was Enki who created Adam and Eve, with the critical assistance of his half-sister Ninki. It was Enlil, on the other hand, who created Eden. Enki was the serpent in the garden who urged Adam and Eve to eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which infinitely beneficial to their spiritual growth. It was Enlil who drew them out of Eden, while Enki was there to clothe them. It is worth noting that an author, Zechariah Sitchin, claims that the biblical word for snake is Nahash, which means to find out. In other words, Enki, the god of wisdom. In the time of Noah, it was Enlil who either created the Great Flood as a means of wiping out mankind because they supposedly made too much noise, or else refused to warn the humans or do anything to save them or help them to save themselves. Enki, on the other hand, apparently against orders of the Anunnaki, who Enlil now controlled, provided the boat plans for Noah to build his ark and thus save him, his family, and likely a fair number of craft workers and their families. Enki included as well the seed of other living things. In the Sumerian texts, we have the stories of Enki and Enlil, and for the most part there is portions devoted to each. But in Genesis, the Bible, Enlil seemingly reigns supreme. Abraham in the Bible and his descendants served Enlil and followed his principle. The Egyptians, on the other hand, were Enki's followers, and based on food management practices during the devastation drafts around the time of Jacob and Joseph, were doing a lot better than Enlil's followers. Obviously, Noah backed the right horse in that Enki shared both plans with the righteous fellow, whom Enlil later claimed as his own. In war of Enki's humans against Enlil's humans, Sodom and Gomorrah took the brunt of the action and were destroyed by nuclear weapons. They were A-bombed. The decision for this, however, was not, as you might have expected, due to Enlil's instigation. Instead, it was due to the actions of his sons, Niruta and Ningal. The radioactive fallout of their actions then resulted in the final destruction of Sumerian civilization around 2000 BCE. Enlil was no longer the undisputed lord of the command among his peers, whether as Jehovah in Genesis or as Enlil in Mesopotamian record. It was he who had instigated the Semitic invasions, which led to the confusion of tongues and the fall of summer. It was he who had brought about the devastation flood, and it was he who had leveled the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, not because of their wickedness as related in Genesis, but because of the wisdom and insight of their inhabitants as described in the Coptic paraphrase of Shem. It was Jehovah who had removed Israelites from their homeland. I'm going to end this here. And if you like to book a personal reading with me, you can find and get in touch with me in the description box below. You'll see my WhatsApp number. Feel free to contact me to my channel, subscribe my channel, hit the button to subscribe, get this video thumbs up if you enjoy it, and share my channel with people. I'm Joy Prakash Singh. Thanks for watching.